So I've already created this template. So I have a whole bunch of these text documents here that I open in Notepad. Here's my tile that I'm using as a template. And I'll give you an example of something that I am using here. So let's go into one of these. Fine. This one's a mountain. So you've kind of got an idea of what we're going to be making here. So let's go back to my templates. Oops. And let's go into the Unity project. So I left off at E3 earlier. And then we're going to go to E4. Actually, I just did this one earlier too, so let's go ahead down to F. I don't know if I want to do that one right now, but I can probably do this newt. So let's start working on that here. So the way that I've been doing this is I tend to set up a simple sort of layout of where everything's going to be on this project, or kind of an outline of what this object is actually going to look like. So right now we're doing like sort of a salamander thing, so I'm going to be building out this tail, and I kind of know that I want him to face up and to the right, so let's start building this here. This might actually bump up a little bit too much, so let's shorten this. So one thing to note is that Notepad tends to move these cells around quite a bit. So what you can see I'm doing, I'm using Shift and the arrow keys to actually move around to get these cells ready for drawing, right? Because if I do it like this doesn't actually move the cell, but if I am just implementing, like if I'm just putting this in, it's going to move everything around. You can see this shifting down here every time I do this. So if I do that, it doesn't move the side there. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. Once we kind of have the basics down, we'll get a little more in depth. Okay, so now that I've got the basic shape down, I can do a little more detailing. It looks like this might be a little off, so I'm going to center it a bit too. Doing soft organic lines like this is always kind of hard, so I tend to use this kind of staggered step thing that I'm doing here. So I'm probably going to do that for the tail too. just to give them a little bit of contrast, what I want to do is fill in some of this with some of these semicolons. Maybe look like he's got some stripes or something on him here. That's looking pretty good. He's a little wonky, but I kind of like him. Might have to go back and fix up some stuff later, but I think this is probably pretty good. I think I want to give him a little tongue too, because that might be kind of fun. That doesn't look quite right, does it? It's got like a little forked tongue there. Let's just kind of shade this side a bit. And so just to streamline this process a little bit, what I usually tend to do is copy this out. I got a Notepad++. Oh, Notepad++. And what I've been doing is just replacing this. Thought I want to copy, tab that out a couple times, so it's in line with the top. And what I'm going to do is just snag a screenshot of this. Make sure it's lined up decently on these edges here. And then I go into Krita, where I have all of these drawings made, and I go find my empty tile preset that I have, print it as on monitor, and copy that in. And then I just drag the edges down, because I know that this is the size that I need. And like I said, this is a little askew, so I tend to just fix this in post. I know it is sort of cheating, but it saves us a little bit of time. Oh, why is that snapping weird? Let's try this again. There we go. And I just align it like that. So now we've got our new tile. Just deselect that there. We're going to save this as, what did we say this was? F something. F3. Save that as F3. Save it as a PNG. And now it is in my project file for Unity. So if I go into here and I look for F3, ta-da. I gotta put this in twice because that's just how my system works. But I'm gonna skip ahead and then I will show you what it looks like in the game. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my game audio was too loud here, so I had to go back and do a little voiceover. This has been my workflow for setting up ASCII art with Unity. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Happy to talk about it some more. I'll probably do a video on how I make music later on too. Thank you guys. Bye.